Good evening, good evening, good evening. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the launch of my new segment, The Joy of Networking. And I'm so excited to introduce to you Miss Kelly Lyons. So let me tell you about her. Kelly Lyons, the gourmet mama, started as a side hustle that turned into the hustle. The company focuses on the art of homemade food made with a high quality ingredients and a gourmet spin. They specialize in specialty diets and are happy to accommodate anyone. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome my good friend and very, very dear to me, Miss Kelly Lyons.
Hi guys, thank you. Thanks Melissa for having me on. I'm so honored to be your first guest on Joy of Networking and I can say hands down that you make the Joy of Networking very joyful. I met Melissa in a networking circle virtually actually, right? During the
Yes,
pandemic,
in
coming
the
out of
Zoom
the pandemic
with Steve Cooper.
with Steve
Steve,
Cooper.
Steve
Yep.
Cooper. Thank you, Steve Cooper.
Coffee
Because
with
of
Cooper.
that, yeah, because of that, I got connected with Joe, and Joe connected me to the Jersey Man. That's how it is.
Correct.
It's like Kelly is the key for me to meet more people. Thank you so much, Kelly, and then Steve too. Thank you so much. So, Kelly, tell us, how did you start this business?
Well, Gourmet Mama started when my son was a baby. He was about 11 months old, and I needed a side hustle just to make a little extra money. And so I was trying to figure out what I could do on the weekends. And so I made a pot of meatballs and I brought it to a vendor event and I gave people samples and I offered to cook for them. And I was surprised people like jumped on the bandwagon right away. And so that was 10 years ago. And I got so busy, but I had a full time job at the time. And so I really couldn't just do it on the weekends.
Mm-hmm.
And so I kind of let it go by the wayside, but I had kept the name and I had kept the Facebook page around, but not active. And
Mm-hmm.
then when the pandemic hit and everything was changing, my company that I had worked for 20 years did not make it through the pandemic and closed. I thought to myself, well, maybe I should bring back the Gourmet Mama. And so I offered a couple people in my neighborhood had asked me if I would cook for them. And so I did. And at the time I was doing a Whole 30. I was really specializing in really healthy food, clean food. So I decided to do that. And then they posted it on Facebook. And so my two little customers went to 10 customers very quickly, which went to 20 customers, which went to 70 customers, which went to 200 customers and climbing every day. So we get between 5 and 10 new customers every single week that the menus are posted. And so
That
that
is
was how
good.
Gourmet Mama started.
I tasted one of your food from the networking. What is that? The ground pork or something like that. I love it, and I even take home some of those with the bun. Can I take them to mom? It's like I love it.
Did you make you? It was the pork, right?
It
The
was a
pineapple.
pork, right? It's a
Yeah, the
ground pork
pineapple
or
pork.
something. I really really love it. It's so freaking yummy. It's really really yummy. So
I've always used cooking as my creative outlet, and also, it's just something it was very cathartic to me. I could really process, if I needed to do something with my hands, and I always really enjoyed that. And I loved expressing love and emotion for the people around me with food.
mhm,
And so I sort of naturally gravitated towards that.
that's good. So what do you love most from what you do?
Um, I love nourishing people, wholeheartedly. Like I love nourishing them sort of body and soul, because I really feel like when you're gathered around it, food is a universal language for people.
Yes.
You can gather around the table and everybody's happy and smiling and everybody could be speaking a different language, but the food unites people. Everybody has to eat, everybody loves food that tastes good. And I always thought that that was really great the way that kind of brought people together. It also gets you to bring like your culture, your love, what part of the world you live in to the forefront. I lived in Los Angeles for many years and there were all different kinds of food there to try. And I loved that
Yes.
part of it. So
That is good. Ladies and gentlemen, if you are watching, you can give us a comment so we can, if you're watching our live stream, if you give comments, we can mention your name and company here. So if you have any questions, so Kelly can answer your question. You can be included in our live stream. So, who is your primary audience?
originally, when Gourmet Mama made its comeback in 2020, it was specialty diets. So people who were doing keto, paleo, Whole30, and needed a way to do that and weren't sure how. I provided the food for that. I did a lot of meal prep, and so I would do pans of food for people. Grilled chicken, grilled vegetables. Anything that you could kind of make meals with that was delicious, but also clean and keeping you in the zone, whatever that zone was, whether it was a Whole30, whether it was a paleo diet, whether it was a keto diet, we were able to adapt to that for people. But now my primary audience has really broadened. It's not just the specialty diet. It's really the very busy moms, the very busy parents who don't have time to make dinner. So they're ordering full dinners to have ready to go, because any of our meals can be reheated in 20 minutes, in a 375-degree oven. And so dinner's on the table, and it's not just some crappy dinner out of a bag. It's like a homemade meal that was made. My mother cooks with me. So my mom was a chef for many years. She owned a restaurant. And so
Is
you're
she still
getting,
with you?
yeah, she's still with me.
Okay.
She's our part-time sous chef. She says I'm the part-time sous chef. So she kind of bounces in when she needs to. And it's the holidays now. So she's like, well, I'm too busy to help, to cook right now. So, she's off the books right this second, but she'll be back.
So, I honestly, like, where did you learn how to cook?
Where did I? Well, it's a combination. I will definitely say my mother definitely taught me how to cook. My grandmother was kind of an example of cooking, though she was not a big cook, but she cooked meatballs. But I just loved the way eating anything at my grandmother's house made me feel. So she inspired me. And then I'm not going to lie, I think that I was taught to cook by Tyler Florence, Martha Stewart,
Really?
and yes, and Chuck Hughes were probably my favorite. Those three, and Bobby Flay. Like I love to watch them. And I'm telling you, I got more education from watching cooking shows. And I used to binge watch. I used to love to watch them. And I just absorbed so much information from that. And of course, whenever you're intrigued or excited about something, you want to know more. So read magazines, got cookbooks, started collecting cookbooks and cooking for my friends and cooking for my family. And my degree is in science. And that is a really
Oh,
good,
yes.
good thing, because you start to understand how the food really
Yes.
works.
Yeah. So, what age did you start like having an interest with the food?
Early.
You love food? Is it because you love food? That's why you want to cook or something?
I'm not sure. Like I do love food. I love food. I also love good, like well put together, nourishing food. Was really important to me. I don't like crappy food.
Yeah.
I mean, listen, we all have our moments.
Yes.
We hit the drive-through, we get the cheeseburger. That's fine.
Yes.
I'm not going to judge you, but I like good food.
Yeah. So
I was probably I would say 11 or 12.
Nice.
Yeah,
So,
I remember the first meal I ever cooked. I made a barbecue steak. Like I made steak with
really?
barbecue sauce on it.
Wow.
I don't even know if that's a thing.
That is good. So let's talk about this. I am so excited with your to the next level of the Gourmet Mama. That tell us about the RVN TV.
So I've had a relationship with RVN Television for many, many years. I did a children's show for them when I was the director of the Garden State Discovery Museum, the Children's Museum. I did a kids show for them, and Keith and I reconnected about a year ago, I would say, and he's working on this Chow Down Network, and he was like, "Would you like to do a cooking show?" And they made me an offer I couldn't refuse, which included 60 episodes of a cooking show. Yes. And I realized very quickly that is probably I don't think I've ever wanted to do anything else more than a cooking show in my whole life.
Yes.
I love it. I love being on the camera. I love bringing people into the kitchen with me. I love cooking. I love showing people the cooking. And the thing that I love the most is when the crew is all waiting for me to be done with the episode so they can eat everything that I made. So that's really gratifying. And it's really great.
Yeah, I'm looking forward for me to be at RVNT.
Yes, you're
RVNT,
coming,
like
Melissa. We're gonna cook. We're gonna cook
it's
some
gonna
Philippine.
it's gonna come. Kid, just bear with me. It's gonna come. So stay tuned for that. Um Tell us, like, how are we going to watch, are we going to be involved in the RVN TV video show? How can
Okay.
we do that?
So the show has done very well, and it is on RVN television.tv. So you can watch it anytime on there. We're on the Chowdown Network, or you
Okay.
could search Gourmet Mama and it will come up.
Are
Or the
they going, do they need to subscribe
Nope,
to
nope,
watch
it's
that?
free. Nope,
Okay.
you can watch it right there. You can watch it on your phone right now. You can watch it, when you're done with the interview and you want to watch the show. The very first episode was called "It All Started with the Meatball," and you can watch from there. I have some great pictures of my grandmother from the old school pictures from the 60s and 70s. So
And the one that you did with the commercial, that is so freaking funny and fun. And
I
what is that for? Is that for the
that is the
introduction of
commercial. That is
you?
literally the commercial for the show that they run. And
Oh, okay. That is really like, you made all the mistakes, and then
oh,
now I do this. I'm just cooking.
so when I'm cooking, I'm fine.
Yes.
This was a promo shot. I had already cooked. They wanted me to like open the oven, come over, take the food, put it in front of you, say if you were. I was like, it felt like I had so much going on. I couldn't figure it out. And I'm not normally camera crazy, but I was definitely camera. It took them 35 takes to get the commercial out of me.
And I
Um,
love your new logo. At least you're not holding a knife.
Melissa wanted me to get rid of my knife. My normal logo has a knife in it, me chopping
Yeah,
vegetables, because I chop a lot of vegetables.
that is good. That is
She was
very
like, I don't
good.
like that. You should get that knife out of there. But RVN had come up with the mixing girl all on their own.
Yes.
Which is funny to me because I don't really bake. I'm not a baker. So like
Yeah.
mixing with that seems like baking to me. But
It should be spatula or something.
it's a spatula.
Spatula is in there, or something like that. So,
So this is the kitchen. This is the beautiful kitchen.
yes, can you tour us with the kitchen? What?
Yes.
Love the color. So tell us about that color that you choose.
So this is okay. So everything started with, I'm trying to see where.
It's really, well, you don't need to do that. We see
You want
it
to leave it?
already.
Can you see it?
Yeah, we see it already, but it's very, very well designed. It's like very kind of high end, but classy, and it's like the most important thing too is like it's very classy. It's timeless.
That's
Like
what I think. So
timeless.
the slick modern kitchens are not really my thing.
Yes.
I often think that when people have slick modern white kitchens, they don't do a lot of cooking in there.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I think they're beautiful. I love to look at them. But
Yes.
I always responded to a space that was a little bit more creative. And so I found this stove from the 1920s, which is what started everything. I said, I want this old vintage stove. I know I want
Nice.
this. I bought it on Facebook Marketplace from a
Nice.
gentleman named Gene. It was his grandmother's. Her name was Palumba. And she used to have an extra kitchen in her basement, and this stove was in the basement. And he said to me, my grandmother cooked hundreds of gallons, maybe thousands of gallons of Italian gravy on that stove. And I was like, I need it. I need to have that stove.
Yeah.
That's right up my alley. And so it started from there. And I was like, well, what's the kitchen going to look like? And I didn't want to go full like bebop 1950s. I didn't want it to be so charactery that everything was 1950s.
Yeah.
And so I was trying to figure it out. And again, I looked on Facebook Marketplace just to see what cabinets were out there, what people were doing. And these cabinets were on sale from an antique dealer in Percy, Pennsylvania, not far from you, Melissa. Well, it is far from you, but in Pennsylvania, by Doylestown. And I reached out to them and I said, I love these cabinets and I'm so inspired. I just feel like these need to be my set. And so they became a sponsor of the show.
That's awesome. Nice.
Yes, and they product placed the cabinets, and we went up and got them, and we built them into the set. We took them out of the store. And so that is Architectural Antiques in Percy. And then they also have a second shop that their daughter owns, which is amazing, called something borrowed bridal boutique. And so she sells consignment wedding dresses, and it's the other part of this amazing old barn. And she did this beautiful job.
That
So the kitchen had to come out of there so her showroom could be in there. And so we're
that
very
is
grateful.
nice. That is very good story, Kelly. And
Thanks.
what is your favorite part of the business?
What is my favorite part of the business? Well, my favorite part of the business is definitely doing the show and connecting with people in that way. And then I guess my favorite part of the business is creating food that people love. And I used to have this running joke because when I started to clean out my diet and I wasn't eating as much stuff as I used to, and I had friends that were like, listen, I mean, I lost 65 pounds. I had steadily gained about 5 pounds every year after my son was born.
Wow.
And so I lost 65 pounds cleaning out my diet. And people were like, oh my gosh, what did you do? And so I would try and explain to them what I did. And then people were like, well, I want to eat this and I want to eat this and I want to eat that. And I was always like, I can make that. I can make that. I can make that. So like, low carb, clean, no grains, no sugar, and you'll love it. It's still going to be delicious. You'll love it. And so it was like a running joke. All my friends were like, Kelly can make that. Kelly can make that.
The best thing about you is like you love what you do, and same thing with me because that's why we really hook. That we
Exactly.
made that we are really hooked. We're like, oh my god, from we became like friends. I got your back. Something like that. We support each other, and I'm so happy that you are the first one that really first one for my the joy of networking. So let's how did you find the joy of networking with me? Did you attend my events yet? I don't think you attended
I
it
don't
yet.
I don't think I got out to the joy of
Yeah.
networking. I came to the
Oh,
Met
yes,
Walk.
yes, you did. The Met Walk. That's my event. So
I
how
came
did
to
you
Met
find
Walk. Yep. Which was
how did
awesome, by the way. I can't wait to have the big one. That was actually, I don't know exactly what to expect from Met Walk, and I was like, this is awesome. The format is awesome. It's just a great way to do anything.
Yeah, I know. That's why I'm thinking like I am thinking big. So I'm talking to the bank right now. How can I make this happen or something like that? So it's going to happen because this network is going to travel. So the reason why I do this like the joy of networking, that's the reason why I did that. I am thankful to Tony Moore, my lawyer. I trademarked the joy of networking, so I need to do the proof of the using the joy of networking. So it's
Right.
like because before I'm afraid in LinkedIn because English is my second language. I'm from the Philippines, and and I just said to myself, I will just do it. And then when I started using the joy of networking, I got 1,000 views. Like, oh my god, this is so good. And I said it to Tony, and then oh my god, you gotta trademark that one. So I trademarked this one because this one is going to be a book someday. That's why it's going to be like I'm planting the seeds for this joy of networking.
Well, that's
So
amazing.
yeah, because that's what I do anyway. I give joy to everything what I do. So it's like joy in cooking for you, you know,
Absolutely.
the
Sure.
joy in networking for me, and it's really really awesome. So how other people can connect you if they want your services?
Oh, they can find me on Facebook. Gourmet Mama NJ is there's a couple Gourmet Mamas out there, but I am Gourmet Mama NJ because I'm in New Jersey, and you can find me on that.
Yeah.
And you can always check out RVN TV. We are working on the website. I didn't actually make a website because I didn't think that this was going to go as big as it has, but we are currently
Yes.
working on the website. So eventually I will have a website for people to visit and a store that people can shop for some of the stuff that I've curated in my
Oh, I am
kitchen.
excited to that. You're going to be trouble for me. I'm going to stay away from you for a little bit. And also, I would like to thank SBRA, Small Business Resource Association, that hosted me here because I've been doing networking since in the morning, the Chambers of Commerce, the Agnes Weather. That's why I didn't change at all. I didn't come home yet. I delivered the diesel particulate filter for my day job. And then I attended the SBRA, and I asked them if I can do the live stream here. So instead of me going home earlier than and they are very kind to let me use their office to do this. And thank you, SBRA. And also thank you to Steve Cooper for us to, because of him we met, and then it's gone on and on and on. And Joe, and then introduced me to Jerseman. I love Jerseman. I love Ken Dunick and Ashley. Thank you so much for all the connections I have. I'm very happy with those people. And thank you. All of this because of Kelly. Thank you, Kelly.
It's just me.
Thank you, Kelly. And something, any words to say before we say goodbye? Promote your RVN TV.
Yes, watch Gourmet Mama on rvntv.tv. We are on the Chowdown Network. We would love to see you. Enjoy, and I hope you have a happy holiday.
Don't go out yet. Thank you, everyone, and see you next time. Bye, everyone.